and welcome back to the Rovers Reports YouTube channel. As you can see to my side, I'm joined by two special guests. I'm joined by Dom.
Hello.
And Ollie.
How are you doing, guys? You all right?
It's very nice to have both of them back on the channel again. It's always a pleasure to have both on. I love both of these boys. But yeah, we're going to get straight into it. Coventry preview, Coventry haven't been on the best of runs. I mean, we were just speaking to Ollie then, beat QPR 3-0 and then a 2-2 against Watford. Obviously, against Watford, they were 2-0 down. But before that, a couple of weeks before that anyway, a 4-0 loss to Stoke. Obviously, Stoke have been a bit of a problem to us as well this season. But Ollie, what's your thoughts going into this game? What do we need to improve upon?
Where do you start? No, do you know what? We discussed this the other day after the whole game. I mean, the final third is really the area. I mean, I've just come away from watching the Liverpool Leeds game tonight, which I bet some of you might have watched anyway. Okay, and I don't know why, but I was looking at Liverpool and they didn't have a shot on goal, and it was frustrating. Then all the possession, but doing nothing with it. I'm not going to say it's categorically same as Rovers, but that's sort of how I felt when I was watching them against Hull the other night. We discussed about Leonard the other day. I do think he needs to be given a shot. Someone with a bit more eye for goal, more than holding up the ball as what Gally does. And you know what? I think he's got to be brave, but I've just got this feeling that he's going to stick with the same team. He came out today, and I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to downplay it. He comes out with comments, and he's saying things like, we shouldn't be in this position. Nobody would have expected it. And he's just trying to take that pressure off the players. And I give him credit for doing that. And you see all the comments, and we're all there saying, look, we should be happy where we are. But like you said, we've got a real opportunity here. We're not just 4 points off. We're in it. We're in the driving seat. Even take the last 4 games. How we're still in the driving seat, well, I do not know. But Wednesday, just like any other game, is massive. I can't tell you how big it is.
Yeah, and like you said there, JDT's got a little knack on it. He don't like to change his team about too much. And when we were saying the other day when we were talking, me and Ollie, Adam Wharton, as soon as he came on, broke the lines completely. One pass, that's all it took. And players like him, you look at it, 10 minutes against Norwich, 10 minutes against Hull, and both games he's had a massive impact on straight away. So like we said last time as well, we got to respect JDT's decision, but it gets to a point where you're thinking to yourself, surely JDT, you need to change it up. But if you were in JDT's position right now, Dom, what would you be changing up?
I think in terms of formation, look at the Huddersfield game, the second half. Even the first half was fine. It's just a couple of calamities. 3 midfield worked magnificently. And I think that the fact, if we want to involve Adam Wharton in this midfield, then we need to have him in a 3 rather than a 2, because he looks quite weak in a 2. If we have Travis and Morton as a deep line, Travis is the ball winning, and Adam Wharton really expressing himself going forward, then I think that we really do look good going forward. And quite frankly, let's never have Sam Gallagher on the wing ever again.
Yeah, and like you said there, I think Morton playing more of a deep lying playmaker works for him so well. I think Ollie agreed with that when we came to the Huddersfield game. Morton played so well that second half, and it's kind of like a good balance when you get the 3 of them playing together. But again, JDT's decision, we've got to respect it. But one thing I do want to know, wingers were spoilt for choice, absolutely spoilt for choice, right? But who do we play? What's the perfect duo? If you were JDT right now, who would you be your left winger and your right winger? Ollie, I want to start with you on this one again. What would you be doing with the wingers right now, and how would you be playing with them?
I mean, I can never get my head around why Sober Thomas was dropped for the Norwich game, and then he was dropped for the whole game. Totally understand. Well, to be fair, with the Birmingham game, straight off international duty, I've got faith in Hedges because I like the way that Hedges carries the game. I love his work rate. You can never knock that guy for his work rate at all. But for me, Sober Thomas had the most assists in the Championship last year. I think he's come in, and maybe I'm completely wrong. He's not a world beater, but I tell you what, he has he has made a difference personally for me. You've even got to look at just even a couple of times against Hull when he came on. He was a bit greedy in the 16-yard box. He could have put it across instead of shooting, But obviously, I wish Galley would have that bit more eye for goal than at those moments. But for me, I think if it's going to be, I think it's look as much as I keep saying, Diaz don't start. I'd love to see Diaz through the middle. I don't think he wants to play him through the middle, but I generally do believe I want Thomas, Diaz, and then I'm going to be bold. I'd love to see Leonard play there. I'd love it for the game against Coventry. I know it's a bold, brave move, but I think if you look at when he played against Huddersfield, even for a brief spell against Hull, there's a lad there who's got the bit between his teeth. He then goes back and plays the under-21s a day later or something, and still goes and knocks goals in for fun. Just is it the right time to experiment? Who knows? Let's give the lad a go. There's my three.
Yeah, and like you said, it was the Huddersfield game where the day after he was playing against Nottingham, weren't he, in the Premier League Cup to get to the final, and I think he scored a goal himself there. But yeah, like I said, I'm a big fan of Harry Leonard. I think we need to save the debate for Gallagher, Leonard for another day. I think let's give it a couple more games before we get there. But I think his aggression can't go unnoticed, and he seems like he's just got an eye for goal, even against Huddersfield. He had one shot on target straight away. He had his back on goal, but he knew where it was straight away. He turned and he hit it, and you could see he found the target straight away. And like you said, the Brereton Diaz, I don't think we'll get him central anytime soon. I think he loves cutting him from that left wing, getting shots from the left side. So, we can't do much about that. But Dom, your front three, who are you going for, especially the wingers? That's what I'm interested in here.
Yeah, I think the interesting thought on the Leonard thing is he does have that eye for goal, and I think he does have that natural positional sense that Gallagher might not have. I think that's it's like you say, it's a time for another day, and it's a debate for another day. But I think that Sam Gallagher should be the one going in the middle. Just put him there. That's where he's best. So that he will be the one going forward, and then. It's difficult because Dolan's played left and he's been very ineffective. Thomas has been hit and miss at best, I'd say. I don't think he's had an amazing game. He's had good games. I think he's due a time. So right now, I'd say Brereton Diaz and like Ollie said, Hedges has been very consistently good to okay, hasn't he, all throughout the season. So it's a flip of a coin between Thomas and Hedges on the right. So I'll say Thomas just to keep it a bit different.
Yeah, I think a lot of our players this year have really been a flip of the coin of what we get. Really, I know me and Ollie the other day when we were talking, it was really frustrating. How we can get one hell of a game out of a player, and then the next game it's just like, where was that player last game? Like that was playing last game. It's unreal. But moving from the attack to defense, some people say that the defense is the best form of attack. Really, again, something else me and Ollie were talking about. Hayden Carter and Dom Hyam have been very, very, very consistent throughout the season. But the past couple of games, there's been some massive composure issues there. And I just wanted, before we get to the predictions, do anyone want to volunteer to talk about? Do you think there should be a change there, or do both of you think, there shouldn't be a change to that backline whatsoever? I know Ollie, you especially, you were saying that maybe it was unlucky Scott Wharton wasn't there or involved. So I want someone's thoughts on that.
Same again. I said this we spoke about this the other day. I would probably say that, and I'd probably say Carter looks more composed than Hyam at the moment. And we saw against Hull, where, that was I know we play a lot around the back, and I can obviously hear the fans around me getting massively frustrated, but that's the way we play. And it has shown in game after game that we are getting used to this system. As much as people might think it's frustrating, it's not long ball football, I get it. But Carter breaks the line quite well. And there's a couple of times where he just took that extra yard. It freed up Simonics in the middle, the midfield pressing him. I don't think it needs to be changed, but I mean, to this day, for example, with Wharton, I still think there's a player there who I think, especially with the games like Burnley coming up, gets it. And yet again, prior to his injury or whatever happened at the time, I can't remember, but it didn't really put a foot wrong for me. I think he was Mr. Consistent. Unfortunately, same thing with what happens with Piers and Kaminsky. Kaminsky never put a foot wrong, but Piers just did incredibly well. So what do you do? How do you change it? It's nice to be competitive in the areas. It's nice to know that we have got options. So for me, it'd be reassurance to know that if any one of them were to go down the first 10, 15 minutes, I'd have all the faith in Scott Wharton taking that position.
Yeah, and like you said, the consistency, consistency, like I was saying before, has been something that's been lacking within this team, and having a backline that has been so consistent, but the past 2 weeks, not so much, it's a bit of a worry. But like you said, having that backup and just knowing it's there is unreal. And, Dom, what are your thoughts on that backline and having the backup there as well?
I think that the common theme right now between us three is consistency in the back three in terms of centre-back and goalkeeper. Linking it to the Premier League, look at Arsenal right now. They had Rob Holding as the centre-back rather than Saliba, and that was the first time they had to change the centre-back in the last 2 games. And they drew the last 2 games, going from 2-0 up to 2-2. So I think that having a consistent back line as well as a goalkeeper, I think JDT making Pears the number 1 rather than number 2 right now is the correct call. And like Ollie said, if one gets injured, then we've got someone there straight away. But hopefully we won't get to that stage. Hopefully we'll get to a stage where we're comfortable with our back three and they're fit enough with. It's 5 games in 3 weeks. It's a quick turnaround, isn't it? So hopefully, and maybe after that, playoffs as well. So hopefully they will be fine after that.
Yeah, like you said there, with the Arsenal, it's obviously different circumstances, especially with them being the top of the Prem, we're fighting for playoffs. But it's mad how one player can disrupt a backline completely. But I think what the comfort we've got is we know if we brought Scott Wharton in, I don't think there'd be much disruption there whatsoever. I think that we know we'd be pretty safe there, to say the least. But one man I wanted to focus on for Coventry before we move on to the predictions. I think you both know anyway who I'm going to be on about here. It's Big Vic. How do you think we're going to deal with him tomorrow? Wednesday, Ollie. Do you reckon that JDT is going to be planned out? We're going to have a plan for him, or do you think that it's going to be one of them ones like we've seen so far this season where, it seems like we haven't got much going in terms of plans for the striker and they just absolutely destroy his whole game?
We're going to have to deal with him. There's no two ways about it. I think. Do you know what? I quietly like Coventry. I don't know. I'm sure you lads remember that. I think Coventry sticks out like a sore thumb to most Blackburn fans because it was probably one of the most damaging results of last year. To concede a goal in the 13th minute of extra, I can't remember for the life of me. I was literally in the ground. I was so it was playoffs had just gone. Everything had fallen away. Results like that didn't help. So that's why Coventry kind of sticks out. And this lad, he scores goals for fun. He puts himself in the right positions. And you know what? I think we've got the players content with them. I generally do think that defensively, Don said before about Huddersfield, if it weren't for the couple of lapses, I think across the board, we look very solid. I think to a degree against Hull, barring the slip-ups, which, there were a couple, I thought we controlled the game very well. But this was a Hull side without an out-and-out striker. So here we are now against, let's get it right, top 5 team, top 5 out of top 8 in the league. With them coming up soon, to play as well. And you know what? All I can say is if we take this line out of the game, if we dominate the midfield, I think we've got a good chance. I worry about us in the final third. I really do.
Yeah, and like you said, Hull didn't have an out-and-out striker, and I said this to you. I said, if we didn't keep a clean sheet against Hull, the thing that so-called been keeping us up this season with our defence, you'd worry really. So it was positive that we did keep that clean sheet there, even when they had no striker. But one thing that I definitely thought was, if they did have an out-and-out striker, some of the chances we did give away, if Big Vic got on the end of one of them balls, I think he's scoring, a couple of them personally. I think with how clinical he is in front of goal, 100%, I think he's scoring both of them. But I'm going to move on to Dom here. Dom, do you think we're going to deal well with him, or do you think he's going to just be a massive, massive game changer for Coventry and might win it for them?
First and foremost, I think he's the best striker in the Championship. I don't think there's anybody, maybe Chuba Akpom, that could even get close to him in a better team. I think that he's ready for the Premier League right now. But I think at home, maybe with our defence that's quite resolute, quite good at defending, which is something we've not been able to say in the last 10 or so years. I think we're fine. I think we're absolutely fine. I knocked on wood just as I said that. But in terms of a plan, I think that we've got enough in our midfield to cover for maybe the second balls from that. Gustavo Hamer is and I've forgotten the centre midfielder's name. Ran from my brain for a second. As I say that, but a team that's informed, that's won 4 of the last 7 away from home. It's a team that's very much in form as well. And I think that's one that we need to worry about. But I think that in terms of Gyökeres, I think we're absolutely fine.
Absolutely fine. No, well, like we said, I think obviously Coventry is going to be a challenge no matter what. I think both agree with me that Coventry is going to be absolutely massive. It could dictate where we finish this season. It might not. We could go out there and beat them, but the rest of the results don't go our way for the rest of the season. You never know, but we have to stay positive, and maybe I can get a positive score out of Ollie. I know he's not too positive about the game, but Ollie, what we're saying prediction wise for the game?
Do you know what I think? Once I've come down from the disappointment and the frustration of Saturday, and you go through the days and you look at it, you assess it, and you look where we could have been, where we should have been. And do you know what I was doing today? I was going through everyone's fixtures. I was going through Coventry's. I was going through Millwall's, the lot. And everyone's got to play everyone, in a round. Let's not, everybody, I get it. We've got a tough running. West Brom's got to go to Blackpool. Now Blackpool got a win on Saturday. I'm not saying that who knows, they might have a bit between the teeth. People don't understand that the back end of the season, this is where it counts. This is where, it's all gun ho. This is why we love it. This is why we do. And you know what? I think, even though our last win, I think, was against Reading a while ago now, seems ages ago.
It does.
I genuinely believe that we'll win on Wednesday. I genuinely believe, and I'm going to be bold. I'm literally going to say 1-0.
Oh, I like that. A clean sheet against Big Vic. Wow, that's big from Ollie. But he's usually never wrong. That's what I've got to say. If you watch his TikTok, you'll find out he's not usually wrong. But Dom, come on, give us something big.
So the midfielder's name I forgot was Casey Palmer, which is even more annoying in myself. Sorry for the delay. It makes it even more annoying. Like you said, I think that there's a lot of teams playing, a lot of different teams around there. I've got it written up here. So like Sunderland play Watford, Preston, and West Brom. Wow. It's just everyone's in and around playing each other. I'm going to say we're going to win. Like I say, I'm going to win 2-0. Gallagher and Dolan is the 2 players that we'll pick.
Wow, you've both gone for clean sheets. Now you've left me in the dull. I thought I was going to be the positive one here, boys. Why have you done this to me?
Never predict a loss. Never predict a loss. Come on.
No, of course, no, you know.
No chance of predicting a loss, but I didn't expect you both to go for clean sheets, for crying out loud. Wow. I was gonna go 3-2 Blackburn Rovers. I think against Coventry, you know, I think they're one of them teams you just need to outscore, and I think, you know, Vic will get a couple, and I think Sober Thomas, I think Leonard might get one, you know, and Diaz. You know? Honestly, I think if we put the right front three out, if we go with the front three, that literally Ollie just said before, all 3 of them could score. There's no reason why they couldn't. But yeah, you know, thank you to both of you for joining today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you, Dom.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me. Always grateful for being on.
And thank you very much to Ollie as well.
Yeah, cheers. Two in a row now. Flipping hell, I'm doing all right, aren't I?
You're not doing too bad, mate. You need to get on more. Honestly, as soon as I put it on the Instagram, everyone was like, "It's Ollie," and
you know what?
One thing I got in the chat was W's, mate. That's all I got from you. It was literally
I'll take that all day long. I'll take all that, you know, fountain of knowledge. There we are.
But no, thank you very much for both for joining. I'll make sure to link everything down below for them. I'll link everything for Dom on his YouTube and stuff down there. He's doing great over there. He's start uploading more, Dom. But also, I'll make sure to link down Ollie's TikTok as well. But make sure to all like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications as well. And, you know, enjoy the rest of your day. Let's hope after you've watched this, you also get to watch Blackburn beat Coventry. So see you guys next time.